In terms of corruption, Nigeria has a reputation, as you understand very well, for very massive. In terms of corruption, Nigeria has a reputation, as you understand very well, for very massive corruption. I also know that
Nigeria is the headquarters of corruption in the world. I'm sorry, this is my country, but I'm saying this. And if you want me to prove it to you, I'll prove it to you.
Well, no, don't cry.
How can we ever get it right?
Please don't cry.
Over 200
Please don't cry.
images in diaspora came to vote and mobilize for us.
Please don't cry.
If they did this evil to project the best candidate that has the intellectual depth, the intellectual capacity to articulate, to do what is needed,
President, if you can hear me.
take Edo to the next level.
President, if you can hear me.
This bad.
Okay, if you can hear me, please, couple of things. Please.
I can hear you gratified.
Do not cry. Do not cry. It's time for action. Don't cry. But I'm also surprised.
I saw a
let me finish.
lecturer.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish.
Whose wife died. Just a minute, please. A lecturer of University of Benin. His wife died on Friday. The man went to his polling unit, and this lady said he saw him. He said, "What are you doing here? Your wife died yesterday." He said when Asra Ighodalo came to Uniben to speak to them, he promised that he will vote for this man.
Prince, sorry.
I've not seen anything yet. When we start, they better go and correct that thing. That was not our vote. Nobody will steal the votes that we have suffered, put sweat and blood. Have you seen anybody celebrating anywhere? You think anybody will win an election? Anybody, and nobody is celebrating. They want to bring their people to come and celebrate. We are waiting for them. But let me tell you, nobody will steal what Nigerians have sacrificed, have sworn that this time around, their votes. Look, let me tell you, this election, people were going with money. And people will tell them, I want to vote my conscience. And people voted according to what they wanted. Yes. Now you want to deprive them of that.
Are you saying you keep occupying the Unity Fountain and all those
huge heist has happened in Nigeria? The greatest political robbery has just happened. And Nigerians think we keep quiet. You steal our votes. You steal our freely exercise franchise, and we should keep quiet. No. Look. Even the policemen here are victims of the kind of government we have. Everybody here is a victim of the kind of governance we have suffered in the last 7 years. Now, we did not reward APC. No Nigeria rewarded APC. My name is Antonia Hileva. I'm a lawyer. I'm a member of a political party, but right now I'm in Nigeria.
Present situation of Nigeria. Corruption everywhere. Corruption in hospitals, schools, ministries, departments, agencies of government, courts, police station, military, everywhere corruption. Everywhere. Now Nigeria, foreigner go call police for you, Nigerian police no go listen to you. Now waiting that Chinese, that Lebanese, that any Indian, tell them now you go work with. Now Nigeria we dey. Nigerians no get escort. Foreigner they get 4, 5, 6, 7 policemen where they follow them. Politicians they carry 6, 7 policemen. Some police posts no get more than 2 policemen. State government they negotiate with bandits. Hey! Army they there, other people they there. State governor come to negotiate with bandits. Who are they? Non-state actors. And you innocent person, you do mistake, go buy a okrika, we carry small camouflage, soldier go catch you, they beat you. See bandit wear camouflage like you without authority. In the name of saying they do settlement, which kind settlement be that? What an insult.
Donald Trump and others have slammed Nigeria as the most corrupt country in the world. Nigeria is described as deeply corrupt across various institutions, including the judiciary, police, military, and government agencies. Foreign nationals allegedly receive preferential treatment over citizens by local authorities. The judiciary is characterized as compromised, citing examples of non-compliance with court orders and political interference. It's necessary to emphasize that the role of the judiciary is critical to the integrity of any nation. In Nigeria, there is allegations of election rigging and loss of public confidence in the Electoral Commission, INEC. The 2023 general election is cited as an example of perceived large-scale electoral malpractice. Let me take you on a journey, a tale about a land brimming with potential, yet ensnared by the chains of corruption. It's a story that's not just about statistics or headlines, it's about the heartbeat of a nation, the cries of its people, and the uneasy silence of those in power. This is the story of Nigeria, a nation often described as the giant of Africa, but recently labeled as the most corrupt country in the world by voices as loud as Donald Trump. Imagine a country so endowed with resources and talent that it could be a beacon of hope, not just for Africa, but the world. Yet this land's story is marred by tales of corruption in its judiciary, military, police, and almost every layer of government. Donald Trump, known for his bluntness, recently joined the growing chorus, calling Nigeria massively corrupt. As I reflect on this, I wonder, how did we get here? How does a nation with so much promise fall into such disrepair? To understand, we must look at the foundation of governance, law and order. The judiciary, a system meant to uphold justice, has reportedly become a tool for political manipulation. Picture this. A court issues an order, the Supreme Court no less, yet the directive is ignored. The message? Power trumps the law. Do you remember the 2023 elections? Oh, what a spectacle. People braved the scorching sun, determined to cast their votes, only to find their choices swapped. Protesters screamed, "This isn't our vote," while the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, declared results that seemed plucked from thin air. Can you imagine the heartbreak of seeing democracy, that glimmer of hope, tarnished? Now here's a twist that hits home. In Nigeria, the ordinary citizen is treated as second class compared to foreigners. Picture this. A Nigerian walks into a police station seeking help, but is ignored because a foreigner is there. The officers listen not to their own, but to the voice of a visitor. Isn't it ironic? In a land of supposed sovereignty, its citizens are often left feeling like outsiders. The tales of corruption don't stop there. Governors are reportedly negotiating with bandits, men who terrorize villages and displace thousands. Meanwhile, an innocent farmer who accidentally wears camouflage is beaten and branded a criminal. Where is the fairness? Where is the justice? Let's not forget the extravagance of those at the top. In a country grappling with poverty, politicians allocate billions for personal luxuries. Imagine this. While citizens can barely afford 3 meals a day, funds are earmarked for SUVs, lavish renovations, and unexplained task forces. It's not just heartbreaking, it's maddening. But amidst this chaos, the most devastating loss isn't material, it's trust. The people no longer believe in their leaders or their institutions. Hope, once a cornerstone of resilience, is now a dwindling flame. And yet, Nigeria's story isn't over. This tale isn't just about the rot, it's about the resilience of its people. The market women, the students, the workers, they're the true heroes. They bear the weight of a broken system, yet dare to dream of a better tomorrow. So what's the way forward? Change won't come easy, but it starts with accountability. Imagine a judiciary that honors its duty, politicians who prioritize the people, and a nation that treats its citizens with dignity. It's a dream worth fighting for. As I share this story, I'm reminded of one thing. Nigeria's potential is immense, but so is the challenge. To my fellow Nigerians and those watching from afar, let's not lose hope. Let's write a new chapter in this tale, one where justice reigns, leaders serve, and the people thrive. And as we navigate this journey together, remember, the road to redemption starts with each one of us. Let me pause and ask you to consider the weight of betrayal. Imagine casting your vote, hoping it would count toward a brighter future, only to find it stolen in broad daylight. This isn't just about numbers, it's about dreams crushed under the heavy boots of corruption. The 2023 general elections are fresh in our minds. Nigerians, young and old, stood in long queues, braving the scorching sun and occasional rain. For many, it was their first time voting, and they were determined to make their voices heard. But what happened? Reports of rigged results, missing ballot boxes, and sudden power outages during collation flooded the media. The numbers announced seemed plucked from thin air, sparking outrage across the nation. Where did these results come from? Protesters screamed. Even international observers were baffled. Some Nigerians swore they would never vote again. What's the point? They asked. And honestly, can you blame them? Now, let's talk about the judiciary, a cornerstone of any functioning democracy. In Nigeria, it's been reduced to a shadow of its intended self. A court can issue an order, yet it's ignored. Let me give you an example. Just over a year ago, the Supreme Court ruled that a certain individual should be released from detention. But what happened? Nothing. How does a nation function when its highest court is treated like a toothless tiger? A compromised judiciary is a ticking time bomb. Without justice, there can be no peace. You see, the judiciary is supposed to be the last hope of the common man. But when it's tainted, the entire nation suffers. Imagine walking into a courtroom, not to seek justice, but to witness a political drama. Lawyers argue, judges deliberate, but everyone knows the outcome is predetermined. It's disheartening, to say the least. While the people tighten their belts, the government splurges. Billions of naira are allocated for frivolous expenses. SUVs for lawmakers, luxury renovations for official residences, and unexplained allowances dominate the budget. Let me paint you a picture. A young mother in rural Nigeria walks miles to fetch water because her community lacks basic amenities. Meanwhile, a senator cruises past in a convoy of bulletproof vehicles escorted by police. Can you see the contrast? It doesn't stop there. Judges receive a 300% salary increase, yet many of their rulings are questioned for lacking integrity. Funds are set aside for road construction, but the roads remain impassable. It's a vicious cycle of mismanagement and misplaced priorities. Here's another bitter pill to swallow. Foreign nationals are treated better than Nigerians in their own country. A Chinese businessman or an Indian expatriate can walk into a police station and receive immediate attention. Meanwhile, the average Nigerian is dismissed or asked for a bribe before their case is even considered. It's a slap in the face to the people who built this nation, the very ones who suffer the consequences of its failings. And then there are the bandits, the so-called non-state actors who terrorize villages and displace thousands. Instead of addressing this menace head-on, some state governors reportedly negotiate with them. Picture this. An innocent farmer is arrested for wearing camouflage because it resembles a military uniform. Yet a bandit leader sporting the same attire is welcome to the negotiating table. What kind of justice is that? Amidst all this chaos, Nigerians have not remained silent. Protests have erupted across the country, with citizens demanding accountability. December 10th looms as a date for a nationwide protest, a clear sign that the people have had enough. But protests alone won't solve the problem. Change requires systemic reform, starting with the institutions that have failed us. The judiciary must be independent, the police must serve the people, and elections must reflect the will of the voters. To the leaders of Nigeria, I say this: you cannot continue to ignore the cries of your people. The time for excuses is over. If you truly care about this nation, lead by example. Cut down on unnecessary expenses. Ensure that every naira is accounted for. Uphold the rule of law. Restore faith in the electoral process. And most importantly, listen. Listen to the market women, the students, the farmers, the teachers, the nurses, and the laborers. They are the backbone of this country. Nigeria's story is far from over. Yes, the challenges are immense, but so is the potential for change. We've seen glimpses of it in the resilience of our people, in the bravery of those who speak out against injustice, and in the determination of the youth. Change won't come overnight, but it will come. It starts with each of us refusing to accept the status quo. By demanding better, by holding leaders accountable, and by never losing hope, we can rewrite Nigeria's narrative. So let me ask you, what role will you play in this story? Will you sit on the sidelines, or will you be part of the change? As for me, I choose hope. I choose action. Let's rise together and reclaim the soul of our nation.
In terms of corruption, Nigeria has a reputation, as you understand very well, for very massive. In terms of corruption, Nigeria has a reputation, as you understand very well, for very massive corruption. I also know that
Nigeria is the headquarters of corruption in the world.
Thank you.
Sorry, this is my country, but I'm saying this. And if you want me to prove it to you, I'll prove it to you. Present situation of Nigeria. Corruption everywhere. Corruption in hospitals, schools, ministries, departments, agencies of government, courts, police station, military, everywhere corruption. Everywhere. Now Nigeria, foreigner, go call police for you. Nigerian police no go listen to you. Now waiting that Chinese, that Lebanese, that any Indian, tell them now you go work with. Now Nigeria we dey. Nigerians no get escort. Foreigner they get 4, 5, 6, 7 policemen where they follow them. Politicians they carry 6, 7 policemen. Some police posts no get more than 2 policemen. State government they negotiate with bandits. Hey, army they there, other people they there. State governor come to negotiate with bandits. Who are they? Non-state actors. And you innocent person, you do mistake, go buy a okrika, we carry small camouflage, soldier go catch you, they beat you. See bandit wear camouflage like you without authority. In the name of say that they do settlement, which kind settlement be that? What an insult.
Now a protest has broke out in Edo State because when INEC begin to call their own result, matters change. It is different from what people were getting originally. It is different from what party agents have been bringing originally. Every matter, it don't change. And people are saying that they don't know where INEC is getting their result from. Now there's a serious protest. People say they don't vote APC. Say they don't vote APC. Say they don't know where INEC they get their result from. Now at this point, it looks like Nigerians have lost interest in INEC. Nigerians have lost confidence in INEC, and it is becoming very difficult for INEC to conduct an election where Nigerians will not complain again. Now, I think very soon INEC should just sit down, write the winner of election, either presidential election, gubernatorial election, down to councillor. Just write the winner of the election and give Nigeria, say, now this person win, no. Because people will hardly leave their house and go to the polling units to cast their vote because of everybody's losing confidence in INEC. Please drop your thoughts on the comment section. For now, to the next assignment, I love you all.
What happened in Edo? Maybe I'm still going far. Do I need to tell you what happened in 2023 general election in Nigeria? Even if you're not in Nigeria, you must have known what happened. Of course. Do I need to tell you what
About that.
All right. So now we have a president in the midst of crippling, grinding, biting inflation. The president and the National Assembly voted 21 billion to renovate, renovate the vice president's house. 70 billion naira was voted to the National Assembly members to buy SUVs. As 260 million naira for each one for senators and House of Reps members. 4 billion naira was voted to renovate Dodam Barrack. Another 3 billion for Aguda House. 5 billion was given to the Presidential Task Force, a tax reform committee, less than 20 members. 1.5 billion was given to purchase cars for the First Lady. an office unknown to our constitution. Judges, for job well done, got 300% salary increase. I'm not complaining, no. I'm not saying judges should staff. 5 billion was budget for presidential fleet. At least they'll buy fuel now, have you? Every senator gets 21 million naira monthly. No, don't worry, I didn't forget the reps, 13.5. This government voted it. We are going to be spending 15 trillions to pave the road with gold from Lagos to Calabar. And your president's friend is the one building the road, Uncle Chagori. Yeah. Unlike when they used to go to Mina, if they wanted to speak with the occupiers of Aso Rock, these days they go to Uncle Chagori in France so that he can speak with his friend, the same one who gave him the road. And yet, we are told to calm down. We are told to calm down. Where is the money taken from the subsidy? If you say there is no more subsidy, but then we now know that there is subsidy. When you take all of this together, and you then factor in the multidimensional sufferings of the victims of the system that would allow all of these, you can then begin to have an inkling, an understanding of the anger that you are seeing on the streets. Hopelessness births chaos. Hopelessness births chaos. Give the people hope. It's not about letting the poor breathe, because they certainly aren't breathing. You've choked them. But give them hope. Not illusion, hope. Hope, real hope, substantive hope. Give them hope. Let them have a basis to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Show by your own example that you still believe that we should be tightening our belt. Tighten yours as an example. Let them see it. But then you are incapable of doing any of that. But like I said, cause and effect. But here is the issue. For those of us who have no other country to flee to, and I say that full-chested, I do not have the residency of any other country aside from Nigeria. I might have visas to travel back and forth, but I do not own a home outside Nigeria. I actually do not even have a foreign account that is operative as we speak today. I opened one, I think, in 2010 in Houston, but I have not operated it since 2010. I think I have maybe less than $100 in the account. I'm sure they would even have closed it by now. That's the only reason I can't claim that I don't have a foreign account. I'm all in. This is my country. I'm not running anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not interested in seeing it burn. But if Nigeria is not going to burn because there is cause and effect, the impunity by which our ruiners have operated, the horrible way that they have responded to the pains and sufferings of the people before they went on the street, sent traditional rulers with marching orders to be telling people they mustn't protest. They're protesting because they have no choice. Send thugs as I read that send that one to be threatening people. In Lagos, one that they call Sego is the one that is busy threatening them that they mustn't protest. The Nigerian Christian church, the Nigerian church, oh, shame on you all. Oh yeah, sorry, there are one or two exceptions. It would be unfair to Pastor Sam Aidogbo, for instance, to count him amongst the odd number. Shame on you all. There are exceptions, but shame on you all. You can't speak to demand justice before this mess broke out, and you have no credibility to sue for peace. You have no credibility because you are part and parcel of the mess. And that goes for you, the Muslim clerics as well, and even more shame on the traditional religionists. We can't even find one of you who will come out and speak against the abomination to which your spirituality, quote and unquote, has been pressed. I have never believed that our situation can be resolved by protests, because we do not have listeners in government. They are and but the protests are started. I have no single word of condemnation for those who have decided that their only recourse is to protest. They tried doing it with their votes. Their votes didn't count. Okay, so elections are over. Who is not feeling the pain now? All of us are feeling the pain. All. Bulabra, Batidiots, articulated, obedience, revolution. Everybody is feeling the pain. We all go to the same market. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani. Everybody is feeling the pain. So you've managed to unite the people with hunger. The genie is out of the bottle.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.